Welcome back to my channel, guys. Hi, everyone. For those of you that are new to this channel, my name is Nina Takesh. I'm an interior designer, and I'm here to level up everybody's design game. So welcome back. Today we are tackling one of my favorite design questions, which has to do with where to spend and where to save in your home. Everyone wants that high-end look without really draining your budget. So I'm sharing my personal splurge versus save rules that I use in my own projects and in my own home. And you guys are really gonna have some great takeaways. So let's start. I see so many people overspend on the wrong things, then wonder why their spaces still feel flat after they've spent so much money and are now terribly sad. So these are the upgrades that actually matter and the places where you can pull back and no one will ever know. The idea is that we are going to move room by room, living, bedroom, kitchen, and then dining. And I have added timestamps below so you can jump to the spaces you're working on in case. And it's gonna be lots and lots of fun. Now, before we dive in, a huge thank you to Quince for partnering with me on this video. If you're new to them, Quince creates timeless premium pieces. Think 100% European linen, organic, cotton, Italian leather at prices that are refreshingly down to earth. You guys know that on my vlog, the Nina Takesh vlog, I also had recommended some pieces from Quince that I took with myself to, for my husband actually. Do you guys remember on the vlog? If you guys are not watching the vlog, it's Nina Takesh vlog, different from the red elevator. We will link it in the description section. And that's where you see a lot of the behind the scenes, you know, outfits, beauty, travel, a lot of what we do in our interior design projects, how we go about selecting materials, paint, anything and everything that is happening. So what I especially loved about the outfits that Devin wore all over our European vacation that he loved was their focus in quality first, price second. So, which is exactly why I wanted to approach them again and use them for interior design, because they not only make clothes, but they also work on interior design items. By the way, if you're new as a Quince customer, you qualify to get $20 off with your first order when you sign up for their email. So use my link so you can find the specific pieces that I'm talking about today. Okay, living room. Let's talk about what's important. You really want to splurge on a bespoke or well-built sofa. I think that is one of the key pieces in your living room. And it's really the hardest working piece in the house because that is where you'll be sitting most of the time. Clients sometimes ask if they can cut corners here, but this is where construction matters. This is why I say, you know, if you can't afford an expensive sofa, at least go vintage because you can find an inexpensive one. Because a cheap sofa starts sagging. It can move with just the push of a finger, and you'll end up having to literally toss it out and filling up all of our landfills with junk. So if you need to save money, I would save on the throw pillows because they can just a cover. They're just a cover. You get the insert and then you can do something that's not so expensive. Also, you can swap out your pillow covers for a new palette or trend, for example, and without feeling any guilt. And I rotate mine seasonally. Sometimes I have leather, sometimes I have bolsters, sometimes I have round, and I do not spend a lot of money on my pillows. So I did in the past, and that was a mistake, so I've learned from them. So these are the easiest style updates. I just added my Quince reversible linen bamboo throw pillow to my own sofa. And one side is a soft neutral linen and the other side is a sort of subtle bamboo blend, and it feels luxurious. But the price is so good that I can get a few of them in different colors at different times of the year. And I think that that is huge. Okay, next, primary bedroom. Your splurge should be your bed. The bed frame should be really premium because of the joinery, and a quality bed is a long-term investment in both comfort and style. And let's be honest, we spend half of our lives on our bed, so we really want to buy something that not only looks good, but actually is made of great quality. So look for mortise and tenon joints, or metal brackets instead of those flimsy bolts. It sets the tone for the entire room, and then your bed's not going to creak or make noises every time you move. It's just a bad feel and a bad look altogether. Now, where you want to save is perhaps on your guest bedroom linens or secondary bedroom beds, for example. Your guests will feel cared for if you choose crisp but affordable cotton. And I often use white bedding in my guest rooms because it's clean, it's classic without the price tag of high-end hotel sets. So my designer tip when it comes to bedding and beds and how to make each room look very luxurious is layering. Layer, 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 layer. In fact, we're doing a big project right now and we have a bed that we just styled. We're going to be doing a photo shoot. I'm on embargo, so I can't mention who, but you'll see it soon enough. And if you guys follow me, you'll see it on Instagram. And we have literally 4 different quilts on this bed because it just looks so much more elevated when you layer your quilts. So add a duvet, add a quilt, add a comforter, add a throw blanket, keep going. Guest rooms need to look inviting, but they don't see the same sort of traffic. So I keep the palette simple and then layer with textures. I recently tried Quince's organic airy gauze blanket on my own bed, and it's lightweight, it's breathable, and the kind of softness you usually only find in boutique hotels without the boutique price. So I am super excited about how wonderful the Quince quilts are. And because I have a dog and my dog tends to jump on my bed, like I'm not gonna have a meltdown because at least I get something of quality that is on my bed. And if the dog happens to jump on it, I know I can wash it. And worst comes to worst, you know, maybe I can replace it in a year because the prices are so, so good. Kitchen and bath. My favorite room are kitchens and bathrooms because I love designing them. And I also love thinking and overthinking them. So as you guys know, the important thing in a bathroom is always to splurge, splurge, splurge on your stone or your specialty countertop. So countertops are visual and they're functional workhorses. So a beautiful slab of marble, quartzite, or even soapstone becomes a permanent, beautiful design feature and adds real value. Where you want to save in bathrooms is maybe the compartmentalization of the items within the cabinets. So your inside cabinet storage. No one sees what's inside the cabinet or under the sink. So what you can do, which I love doing, is to add inexpensive baskets or bins that keep everything sort of tidy without the designer price. And I organized my pantry and my bathroom in certain areas where I have so many bottles of things with Quince's recycled woven baskets. And I love them. I love them. And they bring a really beautiful handcrafted texture while keeping everything contained. Now, what I want to say about these products is that they actually function as much and as well as a high-end product. So it's not like you're cheaping out. You're just getting great value and you're putting very high-end things in your home. So I just love how expensive they look and feel. Had to say that. All right, dining and entertaining. You want to splurge always on sculptural or artisanal silverware, hand-thrown ceramics, or a dramatic centerpiece bowl. Create that wow moment and elevate even a casual dinner. So these pieces tell a story and become heirlooms. You can pass them down to your children. I collect china, so I am really into having, you know, Limoges, which is one of the best chinas in the world. And I mix it with, you know, very high-end, beautiful candlesticks and things like that because I enjoy collecting and I want them to be beautiful. But for my everyday items, I'm not going to go and buy, you know, really expensive flatware because most of the time my children throw the flatware in the trash, not on purpose. And no, they're not 2. They are much older than that. But what happens is, I even think it could be us, where you have a spoon on your plate, you don't realize you're cleaning the plate before you put it in the dishwasher, and somehow things disappear. So my everyday flatware, by the way, is from Quince. I just got my set because my last set is missing half of its items, and I'm like, please help a sister out. And I got the most beautiful set. I read all the reviews online and everyone's like, I love them, I love them. And I saw them and I love them. So you can mix high and you can mix low in your home. And you just have to know, what's good and what's not good. What I love about the Quince flatware is that it's real stainless steel. You're talking about real materials at a really good price. And then you can buy silver, heirloom quality flatware for your dining room for those very special occasions. Now, not to mention the fact that Quince's, the one that I chose, is called the minimalist flatware. And I just really like how simple it is because it matches everything. And the lines work with some of my china that is, a little bit more ornate or a little bit more simple, or if I get a new set, I know it'll look great. Now, when it comes to architectural details in your home, there's going to be a splurge and there's going to be a place where we can save money. So for the splurge, I am recommending that we use custom millwork, built-ins, wall paneling, all of those hand-selected, beautiful moldings and woodworkings are really can't be fake, right? They need to be done well. You need a great artisan or I should say woodworker or carpenter that is going to be able to lay these beautifully, and a great painter that's going to be able to paint them. But where can you save? This is where I love saving. And I'm going to give you an example right here, right now. Your accent tables or stools. This I got from an estate sale, maybe $15, I kid you not. And this beautiful rattan hand-woven wicker, I don't know, bamboo thing that I love is vintage. And it's lived a great life and it's thrifted. And you can do that too. This is not your sofa. This is a really nice side piece. I've also gotten some great marble pieces online from here and there everywhere that are real marble and they're like really well priced. So this is where I really think that you can do your savings, and then definitely you want to splurge on the millwork that is going to remain on your home for decades. When I decide what to splurge on, I look for three things: longevity, daily touch, and visual impact. So pieces you see or you use constantly, sofas, we talked about beds, countertops, appliances, they deserve the investment that are going to give you the longevity that you deserve. So in fact, you're saving money in the long term because you're not having to throw out and start over again. Those are the places that you definitely do not need to save. And it just is a great strategy to bring in more temporary items and not splurge on them so much. I think decorative pieces sometimes are great moments where you can save. And certainly items that are easy to replace or change out, like pillows, flatware, storage, like the ones I mentioned, are the perfect places that you guys can save. This strategy definitely keeps a home feeling luxurious at all times, year after year, without constant spending. Quince fits perfectly into that ethos or this philosophy that I espouse because it's quality that lasts and prices that let you refresh. Remember, I've linked every product that I've mentioned below so you can shop directly, and new customers get that $20 off their first order. So why not, buy something, test it out. Trust me, you're gonna love it and you're gonna be hooked. And I want to hear from you as to where you guys like to splurge and where you guys like to save. And if you have any tips for the rest of us, for our community, I want you guys to share it so that we can also be inspired by your ideas. And we're always open to learning from others. And I learn a great deal from you guys as well. It's not just me teaching, but it's also me learning. And I love it when you guys give me, whatever it is that you're doing in the moment that has been able to transform your design journey. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. That way we keep appearing on your homepage and you don't miss any of the fun episodes that we have lined up for you. There's going to be so much that we're doing this year. We're super excited and we can't wait to see you again on the red elevator next week.